Hello. I'm Juliana Hever, the plant-based dietitian, and this is the What Would Juliana Do Q&A. Another day in my office or kitchen right now because I am excitedly working on my next book and developing recipes and spending all this time cooking, eating, and repeating every single day, and it's quite fun and interesting work. So I wanted to share something that came up. The other day I had an Indian cuisine day where I was making a bunch of different Indian dishes, which I can't wait to share with you. And today I'm doing an Italian day. So I thought I could talk about the concept of mise en place. Now, if you don't know the concept of mise en place, it's basically a French term that means everything in place. And it's such a wonderful tool in the kitchen to help with cooking and make it as easy as possible. And honestly, what a great metaphor for life. If everything is all prepared, then everything is going to go smoother, right? But unlike life, what's different about a recipe is that it is all predicted and scripted. So you get to use this opportunity to follow the path that someone has already paved for you. So you get to read exactly what's going to happen. You get to have the predictability of what's supposed to happen and how it's going to turn out and how to navigate all of the potential pitfalls and what to know throughout the entire process. So it's such a gift to have a recipe, and I use them as templates because so many people come to me and they want to eat healthy. And the most important way to eat healthy, or the easiest and best way to eat healthy, is to cook at home. Now, you don't have to be trained. You don't have to know fancy tricks or anything like that. My goodness, I mean, if I can do it, anyone could do it. You know, people always think dietitians are taught to cook, but I was never taught to cook. So I taught myself. So I try to make everything as easy as possible. But technically, a mise en place is an amazing tool to make cooking easy, simple, and practical for everyone. Makes it go smooth. You don't have to be worrying about missing an ingredient. You don't have to worry about getting things in on time. So I wanted to share a little bit about how I am preparing for my day of Italian cuisine. So just technically speaking, mise en place means that all the ingredients are measured and peeled and sliced and grated and all prepared, ready to go. So I'll show you some of the examples. I've got a whole bunch of stuff because I'm making 2 recipes at one time, and hopefully I'm going to make a 3rd one later. Here are my onions. I put onions in a lot of things. So I chop up my onions, and I usually cry. I do wear my glasses, or those onion goggles actually really help. I've got some lentils today. I have some carrots and celery chopped finely, some bell pepper, and some fresh basil, and some cut up potato, peeled and cut up potato. And then I also have my liquids together. So this is some tamari and some Worcestershire sauce. I can never say that quite right. I've got some tomato paste mixed with tamari because those are gonna go in at the same time. So that's a real good tip, is that if you want to look through the recipe and see when you're adding the ingredients. And there's usually more than one that goes in at a time, usually. So you can put them all together and have them ready to just go together. And that makes things even easier too. And then I also put my dry seasonings together because usually those go in about the same time too. Here you'll see some bay leaves, some red chili flakes, and some Italian seasoning. And you'll see how similar the other recipe is. It's actually a very different recipe, but very similar palette, if you will, that's got also some bay leaves, some red chili flakes, some Italian seasoning, and some black pepper. And so I got to make sure I don't confuse those two with the 2 different recipes. And then I have my liquids separate. So I have my red wine that's ready for one of the recipes. The rest of the bottle will be stored for perhaps, might jump into my glass later this evening. And then I use broth a lot. Now, I've talked about this before. You can make your own broth or stock very easily. We have a recipe for that in the Healthspan solution. Or you can just buy the store-bought kind. And I love to buy the store-bought kind because when I'm cooking like this, where there's constant cooking going on, cookery going on, and I don't really, it just takes more. It's just easier and faster. I'm always trying to look for shortcuts as fast as I can because I want this to be easy. Again, I'm not a professional chef. I just like easy, delicious, nutritious meals. That's really important for me, for my family, for my clients, everyone. So everyone, it's good to have it easy and doable. So, and then I have stuff like the chopped garlic. And so I did double garlic because I know that it's half for one recipe, half for the other. So I can easily scoop it out. And again, the other thing about ease, if you know me, I do not like to do dishes. So I try to compile everything into the fewest amount of dishes possible to make it quicker and easier. So things like that. We've got some sun-dried tomatoes. Yum, get some umami going. So again, this is just for 2 recipes. I've got some fresh basil. Oh, if only you could smell it. It smells so delicious. I love fresh herbs. And I will add some greens as well. So I have to get my greens ready because those are the last things that go in. But again, so everything is spread out. So my kitchen is quite a little crazy right now, but that's okay. It's going to make it so much easier and smoother to go through the process. And I can even do 2 at one time pretty much. And then my friend Sharon gave me this great advice to put my water in a little bottle like this. I usually just have it in like a cup of water to add because I always saute my onions and my vegetables, like my mirepoix, stuff like that. I always do that with a little bit of water at the beginning. And so this was a really smart idea where I could just squirt it in and not have to worry about always having to go back and forth and to pour it in. So it'll be more controlled. I could do it a little bit less at a time. So thank you, Sharon, for that great tip. So that's just in a nutshell what I'm going to be doing today on the Italian day of cookery. I'm very excited and hopefully I'll come up with these 2 recipes ready to go because this is not the first version of them, so I'm trying them again, and then I will have to invite my children over to help me eat all of this food. And I will freeze some of it as well, but there is a lot of food going on here. So if you're stopping by Los Angeles and you want some extra cuisine, call me up. I probably will have lots of stuff in my fridge. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. For all of your wonderful questions and comments, please keep them coming in the comments section below via direct message or my website, plantbaseddietitian.com. I will see you next time.